David Groninger, I have a copy of the article you wrote called A Structure for Success, Four Key Pillars. And my first question is, why didn't you just call it Four Keys to Success? Why is the word structure in there?
Well, if I call it Four Keys, they might think it was a talk about piano playing or something. Or trying to get into a castle that had four different doors or something like that. But when I think about a structure for success, the first thing that comes to mind is I get a picture of the Parthenon in Athens, and you see in these pictures of the Parthenon, you see these pillars. Now, originally it had a roof that lasted for several thousand years until the 1700s, when Napoleon's army was in Greece and the cannons blew off the roof. And you look at paintings from the Parthenon from like just a year before that, and it's got the same roof that was built several thousand years ago by the ancient Greeks. Well, when you have the pillars, or something that can support the upper part of something, the upper part can fall away, but if you still have that support, it's easy to put the roof back on. Now, with a very weak pillars, all kinds of roofs are going to keep caving in and not being held up too well. Same with a very weak foundation. So I use that Parthenon as a symbol. I also use the Roman Colosseum. That's lasted 2,000 years, and even though that originally had a roof also that's no longer there, but those strong and sturdy walls are still there, and of course the foundation, the original wooden flooring or whatever they use for the flooring is gone, but they still have the basement there. So in life, when you think about times that you stretched too far maybe, or times that you went as far and you couldn't get any further, very likely it's because there was some supportive element that was not in place strongly enough, and that couldn't sustain the continued growth. Kind of like when they launched a spaceship, space shuttle, you know how sturdy that platform is that it blasts off of? I mean, how many concrete feet deep that thing is. Well, a strong foundation in life helps you blast off really, really well. And when something happens to and you got to put your life back together again, when you've got good habits, when you're operating on sound principles, and you know what these principles are, it's easy to put it back together. If, on the other hand, luck happened, your success happened by luck, like you inherited your money, but you didn't know how to invest it smoothly and wisely so you wouldn't lose it, and you started to spend half of it or whatever, these aren't principles that create success or money. These are what causes people to lose money. So if, on the other hand, if you had the structure there, if some good happens, you can save it more, and if something bad happens, you're more prepared to build it up again.
I would just like to say that I greatly appreciate your whole vision of pillars and the roof, because business people in towns are often called the pillars of the community. So if you can give them the added gift of having a roof, that they are the pillars that are holding up the roof, and maybe if the roof of the little town has failed, it's time to build a new roof with them as the pillars. Anyway, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome, Roy.
And what are your four key pillars?
Roy, there is having a mentor, and a mentor is somebody who shows you how to do something. Having a coach is somebody who works with you very closely, helps you identify where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, so you can build on your weaknesses, so you can capitalize on your strengths. And also the coach helps you really perform the action steps that are needed. So you have the mentor, then you have a coach.
I'm sorry, is this one key?
The coach, excuse me, the mentor is the first coach.
Key.
The mentor is the first key pillar.
Okay.
The coach is the second one. And the third one is what I call a buddy coach. And a buddy coach is just a friend, a neighbor, somebody you know. And for example, let's say your goal was to lose 25 pounds. Well, you might have a mentor who's somebody who already lost 25 pounds. So they're the ones who you can look up to. Hey, they've already done it. And you could have 5 mentors, like you go to Weight Watchers, and you meet people who have already done it. They can be your mentors. Well, then you might have a coach, and it could be even somebody at Weight Watchers, or hire maybe a life coach, and they're going to help you organize your day, count calories, get your exercise program in, help you with your time management, your discipline. So and then your buddy coach, let's say every day, or maybe 4 times a week, you're going to go to 24-hour fitness. Well, you go there with your buddy coach because you each are accountable to each other. The buddy coaches help you, they help each other put in the action steps. Now, you might meet with a coach only once a week. You might meet with your mentor only maybe once a month, possibly. But every few days you can meet with your buddy coach. And that helps you when you're meeting with your coach once a week. You might get a lot more done than someone who doesn't have a buddy coach. And also, people are social people anyway. It's fun to be successful with teamwork. It's fun to help somebody else achieve a similar goal that you're trying to achieve, because you learn a lot about how you can also do it, because you see what their hang-ups are. Like, they don't report to the gym. Hey, Joe, weren't you supposed to be there? Oh, I don't feel like it. I'm going to come and get you. Okay, and Joe will thank you after that. You know, because on his own, how many people on their own are members of 24-hour fitness and never show up? But if you had mutual accountability, it would help out. So you have the mentor, you have the coach, you have the buddy coach, and the fourth pillar is a success library. That's your books, your CDs, your DVDs, webinars, workshops you attend, lectures, and these are classes you take at community colleges and whatnot. This is the written or oral, education part of it. And where this fits in is that every day, let's say on your weight loss goal, every day, if you spent maybe just 30 minutes reading something about nutrition, about exercise, about how to maintain weight, something related to this, in time you're going to identify what the key things are to losing weight, and you're going to get very smart on those. Just like I think you mentioned to me about a month or two ago, you mentioned, hey Dave, have you lost weight? Well, my key was the calorie thing. I said, hey, I'm going to burn more calories than I consume. So I actually got a list of all these foods that are low calorie, high energy foods. So that's a part of my success library, and I review it often. Now I have a coach also, and I report to my coach once a week, and she helped me put in a schedule of when I'm going to do my exercising and things, and I weigh myself each day. Now I don't really, well actually I do have a mentor, a neighbor of mine named Steve. He weighs 128. But he doesn't look bad. He doesn't look like he's a skeleton. He looks great. And he's 59 years old. And here's a man, 59 years old, weighs a 128, as strong as can be. And Roy, he's a painter like you, and he works every day. So he was one of my mentors. And so you have the mentor, the coach, the buddy coach, and the success library.
I know it's Dave who's a painter. Who's tall and thin, but it couldn't be your neighbor. Anyway, so David, which of these pillars or keys is more important than the others?
Well, if I could only pick one of them all, I would go for the coach, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people could read a book. Well, we'll take the weight loss goal for example. How many people could read a book about dieting and losing weight? But you have to take action on it. Now the coach is someone to whom you are accountable, and the coach teaches you how to be accountable to yourself. A coach helps you help yourself by teaching you to keep your integrity in, and when you set forth to do something, even on a daily basis, that you get it done. And the fact that you have somebody to report to each week. David, did you review your list of low-calorie, high-energy foods each day? I could say either yes or no. So this thing about, and also if all you had was a mentor, that would also be of some help. But still, if you had a few friends that were very slender and they already lost the weight, that would be nice, but but still you have to take the action on it. And even if you have the buddy coach, sometimes buddy coaches can be kind of mutually lazy. Like if they each say, let's forget it, let's just go out and have pizza tonight. Okay. Well, a coach will not, a coach, you're accountable to the coach. So although any one of these pillars can be used effectively just by itself, if you could only pick one, you'd want the coach. And there's a principle here, and it goes like this, that we know what to do, but we don't do what we know. Or that's kind of like an observation of human behavior. When we meet with the mentor, when we read the books, we know what to do. But how do we do what we know? The coach. The coach is there, and that's one of the reasons why sometimes a coaching session can be a little bit difficult, and it's because we're facing our own growing pains or our own stretching forward, because we're forming new habits, and sometimes that takes a little bit of there can be growing pains in that kind of change.
David, I would really like to thank you for sharing your 4 keys. You gave examples. You made me feel like, well, either I would like to be a coach, or I would like to have a coach for my various weaknesses.
Well, I'll give you my coach's email address, just so you can get in touch with her, just for the fun of getting to know a coach. But there's one other thing I'd like to mention about this. There is a synergy or a synergistic relationship in these 4 pillars. And each one of them can benefit the other one. For example, as soon as you have a mentor, you're already getting a little bit of inspiration. You hear somebody who has something, who has achieved something that you would like to achieve, that gives you a little bit of hope. And the more mentors you have, the more hope you have. And of course, the best thing is when you meet a mentor who is a lot less smart than you are, because now you realize it's not smarts that make you successful, it's just certain habits. It's just doing things a certain way. And you'll discover that as soon as you find a mentor who has everything you want to have and never went to school or something like that. But anyway, as soon as you get a coach, see, the mentor might have a limited time they can spend with you because that's their thing. And a mentor could be a good coach, but maybe not. Maybe they're not that good one-on-one in actually teaching somebody the discipline skills they need to work with themselves. They're good at inspiring the person. But a coach will help you take what you've learned from the mentor and put it into action. Now, a coach does not have to be a specialist on weight loss, for example, the weight loss coach, because the kinds of barriers we run against when we're trying to create a new habit are fairly universal no matter what the goal is. Then if we add the buddy coach, well, the more actions we're taking toward our progress, the more success we can report to our coach, and that's going to make the coach feel very, very pleased. Hey, this person is putting into action. So that helps that situation. And then the next time you meet with your mentor, the mentor is flattered because here there's something they're inspiring you on, and you're really flowering on it. And then when you take the information, the books, the CDs, the websites, and this thing that you can learn from, now you're adding a lot more education to it, and they all start helping out one another. It's like an upward spiral. When you attempt to do something in complete neglect of the principles that our world is based on, it's easy to go on the dwindling spiral down. And it's kind of a spiral because in life, it's very gradual. We're not really kind of aware when we're going down. We're aware of what we're doing. Same thing with going up. And as I was going up, one day I just look at the scale. My goodness, there's 3 more pounds that were lost. And I was really, really, really impressed with that. But it was a very gradual thing as far as my habits. And so I was kind of going up the spiral toward an objective of better health and better weight. And it was just a very, very gradual thing.
Okay. I've enjoyed every second of our talk.
Thank you, Roy.
And I even took notes the whole time, and I'm darn glad I did.
And might I say thank you, Roy, because you are one of my buddy coaches, because you're helping me learn about how to make videos, and you've also helped me with my computer a couple different times too. So I have you to thank as a buddy coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy.